So, The Witcher Season 1 on Netflix has been dumped out for all to binge, and although I thought it was a pretty damn good show, some people still have some questions, especially regarding the confusing timeline. So let's jump right in and explain what's going on with The Witcher Season 1, and a little bit of what to expect in The Witcher Season 2. But first, let me say this video is brought to you by my wonderful patrons over on Patreon. I really appreciate the continued support, you guys. And I would like to thank my newest Patreons. Thank you to Crawdad. And thank you to Nicole Warden. I really appreciate the support, you guys. You guys on Patreon keep this channel going as we navigate this new YouTube algorithm. Anyway, The Witcher Season 1. I think the main issue is that the timelines don't merge until the final episode where Ciri and Geralt finally meet for the first time, but they almost get there in episode 7. Although there are multiple timelines, it's certainly easier to think of just two. Ciri is always in the present, with Geralt and Yennefer stories eventually catching up. You can see this in scenes like when Geralt fights the ghouls and rescues the merchant only to be bitten himself and put into the cart. That is, for example, the same camp from episode 2, outside of Cintra somewhere, where Ciri escaped to when the Nilfgaard attacked and killed the family she was staying with inside the tent. And it just so happens, with this whole theme of destiny that ran throughout the season, that this merchant was the husband of the woman Ciri later stole a horse from, who tried to adopt her, where she eventually ended up in her home after experiencing a trance-like state because of the elder blood that flows through her veins, like her mother Pavetta before her. We also learned later that Geralt had come to take Ciri and protect her before the fall of Cintra that we saw in early episodes, and in fact in episode 1 we did see Ciri look over at apparently nothing, but Geralt had just been standing there after her grandmother tried to pawn off another girl on Geralt, so already, even in episode 1, we saw Ciri essentially sense destiny standing there, but he was always just a step behind. Now, as far as Yennefer goes, she is slightly older than Geralt, so currently her and Geralt aren't completely on the same timeline either, but fairly close. After Yennefer goes through the horrible procedure to gain her beauty, we move into the future in the next episode when she tries to rescue the queen and her child from the assassin. At that point, she had been at that king's court for 30 years. Also remember that in the past, when Geralt is in Cintra for the first time, Ciri's grandmother Calanthe pokes a little fun at the Nilfgaard that comes to take Pavetta's hand in marriage. During that time, Nilfgaard was a minor kingdom in the south that no one really took seriously. Although Ciri is the main reason they destroy Cintra, they didn't forget that light ribbing. This is also when the knight Duny claims his law of surprise, seeking Pavetta's hand in marriage as well, and Geralt of course saves his life, then gets caught up in destiny himself by claiming the law of surprise, which of course again is basically taking something of someone's that they don't know they have. And of course during that same episode we found out that Pavetta is pregnant, meaning that the child that we now know is Ciri is now Geralt's destiny.
Fuck.
Now there is a reason that the Nilfgaard was included in this episode, but for now we didn't see the time between then and the present when Ciri would have been born, what happened to her parents Pavetta and Duny, so without getting into heavy spoilers, expect to definitely hear more about that in The Witcher Season 2. They also tie the characters together in other ways as well. For example, we see King Foltest a few times. He is the king that Geralt lifted the curse for on the Striga with the help of Triss Merigold, who serves as his mage. The Striga of course ending up being his daughter, and this of course crosses over into Yennefer's storyline as the same king who rises to defend Sodden at the Battle of the Mages, since he still owed Triss and Geralt a favor for saving his daughter. Remember, this is the battle where Yennefer tapped into her real potential and firebombed the entire Nilfgaardian army and then seemingly disappeared. It had been clearly established during that episode that overusing magic can certainly kill a mage, so that was the implication. But do remember, she is a major player throughout the books, so it's very unlikely that Yennefer is going anywhere anytime soon. Also keep in mind that a major thread in Yennefer's story is that she wants to cure her infertility. Well, it just so happens that she met Geralt, and they became connected when he tried to save her life with his last wish as the master of the Djinn, or genie in a bottle, she was trying to capture. Well, if Yennefer and Geralt are bound by destiny, and Ciri and Geralt are bound by destiny, well, you get the point, you kind of see where this is going. They're all like a little small piece to the same puzzle. Yennefer may have a legacy to leave behind yet. We also learned about Geralt's backstory. We meet Vicenna, a mage that seems to be his biological mother, and she was also a sorceress at the Battle of Sodden as well, spotted in the same boat as Yennefer and the rest. So definitely expect to hear more about the details of Geralt's backstory, as well as meeting his mentor and trainer Vesemir in The Witcher Season 2. Ultimately, The Witcher 1 centers on 3 people trying to find their place in the world, and more specifically, a family. This is the thread that runs through all three main characters. Geralt's mother abandoned him for some reason, and now that he's a Witcher and does actually have feelings unbeknownst to everyone else, he does want more than a solitary life as a Witcher. Yennefer was sold off by her father in much the same way, and then traded her ability to have children for beauty and power, but now she wants to have something more real, something not based on magic. And of course, Ciri herself gets thrown into the real world after being raised a princess. She literally wants to find a family, safety, and some kind of understanding of herself and what the hell is going on in the world, so it seems Destiny has a plan for all three. Anyway guys, that is The Witcher Season 1 explained in a nutshell, so let me know if you have any more questions in the comments below, and also let me know what you think about The Witcher Season 1. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Somewhere in between? And are you looking forward to The Witcher Season 2? As usual, thank you for all the support, especially you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share, and be sure to subscribe to get everything, and click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.